Hey everyone, Aaron here from MTGChallengers and welcome to another Magic the Gathering highlights video. Today we have me playing Temur Monsters going up against Matthew playing Jeskai Burn. I was on the play for game 1. I started things off by scrying with a Temple of Mystery, choosing to leave the card on top. Matthew played a Mystic Monastery and passed the turn. I played a Wooded Foothills and passed it back. Matthew laid down a Shivan Reef and passed again. At the end of his turn, I sacrificed my Foothills, going to 19 and got myself a Mountain. For my turn, I played a second Foothills and chose to crack it immediately, going to 18 and fetched a Forest. I then cast a Courser of Krufix, revealing another one on the top of my library. Matthew played a basic Mountain. He then tapped out, paying a life with his Reef to cast a Mantis Rider. He hit me with it for 3, taking me to 15. On my next turn, I drew and cast a second Courser of Krufix. I then played a Temple of Abandon from the top of my library, gaining 2 life. I chose to send the Temple of Epiphany to the bottom from the scry. Matthew laid down a second Monastery. He then cast a second Mantis Rider, paying another life, and flew over for 6, dropping me to 11. I played a Shivan Reef as my land for turn, going to 13. I then tapped out for a Sarkhan the Dragon Speaker. I used his +1 ability, making him a 4/4 flying indestructible dragon and swung in with him. Matthew chose not to block, going to 14. Matthew played a second Mountain. He then cast a Lightning Strike, targeting one of my Coursers. He followed it up with a Searing Blood, finishing it off and redirected the 3 damage to Sarkhan, taking him to 2 loyalty. For combat, he swung with his team, sending 1 at Sarkhan and 1 at me. Sarkhan died and I went down to 10 life. I played another Shivan Reef for my library next turn, gaining a life. I then cast a Xenagos the Reveler and used his 0 ability to make a 2/2 red and green Satyr token with haste. I then swung with it. Matthew blocked it with one of his riders, allowing me to finish it off with a Magma Jet. I got to scry 2. I chose to leave the Polychronos on top and sent the card beneath it to the bottom. Matthew played his third Mountain and cast a Monastery Swift Spear followed by a Goblin Rabblemaster. He still had enough mana left over to kill Xenagos with a Lightning Strike, activating the Swift Spear's prowess ability, giving it +1/+1. When he entered combat, he got a 1/1 Goblin token with haste from the Rabblemaster and swung with everything he could. I chose to block the Swift Spear with my Courser, allowing both creatures to live, and took 4 damage, going to 7. I cast a Polychronos World Eater on my next turn, followed by a Rattleclaw Mystic. However, Matthew convoked to stoke the flames on his next turn, dealing me 4 damage. This meant that the Mantis Rider alone presented lethal damage, so I scooped it up, giving Matthew the win and taking us to game 2. Welcome to game 2. I took the play again and once again started out with a Temple of Mystery, scrying, and chose to send the top card to the bottom. Matthew laid down a Shivan Reef and passed it back. I played a Yavimaya Coast on my next turn and cast a Sylvan Caryatid. Matthew played a Mountain and cast a Monastery Swift Spear. I laid down a Shivan Reef of my own and cast a Rattleclaw Mystic. Matthew played a Battlefield Forge as his land for turn. He then cast a Mantis Rider, unfortunately costing him 2 life for the mana. He flew over for 3, taking me to 17. I played a second Shivan Reef. I then tapped out, paying a life for one of the Reefs to cast a Stormbreath Dragon. I sent it to the red zone along with my Mystic for a total of 6. Matthew chose to block and kill the Mystic with one of his riders and took the 4 from the dragon, going to 14. Matthew played another Shivan Reef. He then cast a Goblin Rabblemaster. Since my field was wide open, he got a 1/1 Goblin token with haste and sent everyone in for 5 damage, dropping me to 11. I laid down a basic Mountain. I was then able to cast an Anger of the Gods, wiping the board except for my dragon. I then swung in with it, taking Matthew to 10. Matthew just drew and passed for his next turn. I played another Yavimaya Coast and swung with the dragon again. In response, Matthew cast a Lightning Strike targeting it and finished it off with a Searing Blood, dealing me 3 damage. It did cost him 2 life with his Pain Lands. Matthew played a Mana Confluence. He then resolved a dragon of his own and hit me with it, taking me to 4 life. He went to 7 himself with his Confluence. The dragon presented lethal next turn, so I cast a Rattleclaw Mystic followed by a Nylea's Disciple. I had to take 2 life from my lands to do it, but gained 3 back, going to 5. I thought I had just enough to stay in there, but Matthew dealt me 4 damage with a Jeskai Charm, so I conceded the game, giving Matthew the win to the game and the match. So that's it for this highlights video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to check out the full gameplay as well as the commentary. To see the lists for these decks, be sure to check the description box for links to the deck techs, and also be sure to like our Facebook page for announcements, updates, and other behind the scenes information. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, subscribe for more Magic the Gathering content.